everything can change, just like that.
You can tell by their looks?
Yes.
Venezuelan, all of them.
There's a problem in Venezuela and they can seek asylum here.
Arepa, chapas, pequeñas, empanadas are like as big as this.
She was, what are you doing? And I was like, I wanted to hold your hand. Worst thing is when a girl does this.
I think you just need one bad person to destroy the one whole country.
It's hard to understand how Venezuela's situation became like that.
What do you want to tell US citizens that say have never left the country?
I told them the country is changing every day.
Do you think here still has that freedom?
This is serious. This really happened.
Good morning, guys. In this video, we're going to go to the biggest Venezuelan community outside of Venezuela to meet a local woman who fled the economic crisis in her country 3 years ago. We're gonna get into her world, her take on US culture, how Venezuelans adjust to America, and get her point of view on all sorts of topics relating to Venezuela. Should be an interesting journey. Let's do this. Here we are, City Place at Doral. Looks like a nice, beautiful shopping mall. And Michelle, I think this is her. This is the place.
There you go.
I'm Jim, nice to meet you.
Jim, I was told you're the boyfriend, right?
Yes, I'm the boyfriend.
Okay, and you're from Venezuela.
No, yet. I'm 26 years old, so
Okay.
everything I know since I was 4 years old is the government of the actual government.
Right.
So, but my grandparents and my parents, they live a different Venezuela that I never experienced, you know?
Interesting.
And
A more prosperous,
yes,
better off
totally.
Venezuela. Okay.
Yes. And by that time, maybe a few people move here or invest here in the USA or in other countries. And that's the first group that moved here when everything
Okay.
started going bad. The first group have money.
Have money. Okay.
Because they were a little bit more smart and they saw the perspective of what's going to happen in Venezuela.
So they were looking out like 10 years in advance and seeing something's not happening,
yeah,
right?
So they invest their money here.
Ah.
But the recent group of Venezuelans moving here, they don't have the same financial status as the first group.
So Michelle, it looks quite nice around here. What's going on? It doesn't look like an immigrant community from what I've seen in my life.
What I know about Doral is like so many years ago, it was like a warehouse place. Like not really like it looks today. And then the Venezuelan community, they just move here and they claim like this is gonna be our land here in Miami or in the US. And they start creating all this like nice city with all this Venezuelan identity everywhere, and you can find arepas and cachapas, which is a Venezuelan food, everywhere. Just every 2 minutes there is a restaurant.
All right, we're gonna go to a restaurant, right?
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Jim, you hungry back there? You've been sort of like the odd man out. Let's get you in on this.
I'm starving, yes. I'm obsessed with Venezuelan food.
When I just met him, I asked him to test. What arepa is better, Venezuelan or Colombian? Because this is a battle we have, Venezuelans and Colombians, that they claim that the arepa is theirs, and we know arepa is ours.
You probably don't want to think this since you made the move here, which isn't easy. Do you think the U.S. could lose that place that's attracting all the people for the opportunities? You know, you saw it happen in one country, the country you're from. Is the U.S. immune from that, or can it happen here? Or can it happen anywhere, do you think?
I think it can happen anywhere. I think you just need one bad person to destroy the one whole country.
It's
So,
that simple. One bad person to
that's
destroy
what
the
I
whole
live in my
country.
country. That's what happened in my country.
So who is the bad person? Chavez?
It was
Okay.
in his time.
Like things were good, you'd go outside, it was safe, there was opportunity, you could go on vacation every year, and then
In Venezuela?
yeah,
Yes.
and then bad administration comes in, bad leader, and that all goes away.
Yes. That's
Wow.
what happened. Like, he didn't like the private industry, the private, you know, property. So they start thinking, okay, maybe if I give this to the people that don't have a lot, we can do better. And he really believed in his idea,
Okay.
you know, but it wasn't great. And I think he never realized it wasn't going anywhere, and he just become blind by power, and that's when everything went really, really bad.
That's what happens when people get power.
Right.
They're blinded.
Exactly.
So guys,
Like the power, it should be only 4 years and then move on. Next
move
guy.
on, yeah. Guys, Doral Boulevard, should I take a right here?
Yes.
Okay. You can see the gate in there. This is a nicer neighborhood. Most of it's gated up, guys. We can't go in to see the homes, but you're saying most of this is Venezuelan.
Yes, I'm sure. Maybe not 100% only
Right.
Venezuelans, but yeah.
Venezuelan business owners, like per capita is really, or business owners per capita in Doral is really high. Like a lot of people, there's a lot of entrepreneurs here.
There is, because as I told you earlier, like we come here, so many Venezuelans come here with high expectations, and they want to be like better, and they want to develop their own opportunities, like taking advantage of the economy of the USA.
Yeah.
I studied economics, so I'm not an expert, but I feel that a lot of people that come from a socialist economy that didn't do well would be more interested in entrepreneurship, because the opposite of pure socialism is free market, is becoming an entrepreneur. So if you're leaving a country because you don't like the economy, you go for the opposite.
Right.
And that's what is more available in this country versus where a lot of people came from.
In Venezuela, what happened at some point was like the government say, let's take from the rich people to give it to the poor people.
Right.
And that's in theory socialism.
Right.
But what I think in my experience, coming from a country with this kind of government, is that only gets people lazy. Like, if the poor people say, why I will have to work if the government is going to give me
Right.
what I need, and then the people that work say, why I have to work if the government is going to take it out of me. So at the end, nobody really works, and that's how a country gets destroyed, basically. That's what I think.
Yeah, I don't know the solution at all.
I think it's important to distinguish between pure socialism and social programs.
Right.
So we have Medicare and Medicaid. Those are social programs,
Yes.
and you can argue that they're serving a community of people in a good way, but we're not a complete socialist economy.
Sure.
I think that's something that's really important to think about. So, like, there can be social programs that help people. Like,
Yes.
Of course we want to help the poor and the elderly,
Yes.
but converting the whole country into a pure socialist state like Venezuela did, at least in this example, it didn't work too well.
Well, that said, guys, we're going here. We're not physical therapy or the wax place, but is that it? Pedal?
No, La Cornilla.
La Cornina. Okay. What is this called?
Arepa.
That's an arepa.
Cachapa. Pequeña. Oh, I want this.
Wow. Michelle just heard. She just started floating above the land.
I'm gonna be on this time.
Okay, English finished. And does it feel a little bit like Venezuela?
A lot like Venezuela. Oh yeah. I can safely say that over 60% are Venezuelan in Doral.
Michelle, I'll just do what you recommend here.
That's on the coast. The beaches near that are, in my opinion, the most beautiful beaches in Venezuela. That's Falcón. Breathtaking. I've been there once. Hope to go back sometime.
How many years have you lived here?
I came in 2003. Good luck, guys.
Take care. Thank you. Guys, I got this. Please. You know what I've noticed, Michelle? Since you walked in here, like your frequency, you just like started floating because you're getting close to your food, right?
Right. First of all, food. Second of all, my food.
Yeah.
And I just feel like home. That's.
You feel a piece of home in this environment.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
They sounds like super serious, and that's very an American thing. Like in
Dates are super serious.
I think, like, how are you gonna meet a person for first time and say this is a date? It's like kind of senseless for me.
And so what you decided to call it was?
A friendly encounter.
I felt like I already failed because I asked her on a date and she was like, we can have a friendly encounter. And I was like, oh gosh, I don't want to be friends. You're too pretty. I can't do it.
But to me, they sound
Friend
super
zone already.
serious. And in that friendly encounter, we were friendly.
Yes, we were friendly. Until we got into
Jim
the
was
war.
well behaved. He was a very
He
honorable
did,
guy.
oh, he did this move, I'm gonna tell you. It was COVID, right? So he was going to the bathroom and the lady in the bathroom said, you cannot get in if you don't have a mask. So what he did was he take off his shirt and put it as a mask. And then he come back to me without shirt, showing me his six
Are you
pack,
serious?
like, this is serious. This really happened. And I was like,
Isn't it no shirts, no service?
I wanted to protect the public by putting my shirt on my face.
Yeah.
You know?
and then he just forgot to put it on back. And he walked to me without shirt, like, so yeah.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Well, Jim's in good shape. I see why he's doing it.
And I was like, what is he trying to do? Like impress me with body shape or something like that?
In a first encounter, when the guy you're with takes his shirt off and wraps
First of
around
all,
his
you
face.
don't do that.
Yeah, that's risky, Jim.
You know,
That's
I'll
that
tell you
was
what.
like the failure of that move was like at 98%.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, when you're in lockdown for 4 months and you haven't seen anybody, you're like, oh, food, okay. Should we be pausing the story? Or
Yeah. Pequeños first.
Okay.
Okay, super. And those are empanadas, but they're not like the Venezuelan. This is something the restaurant do. Like they do it small, but the real empanadas are like as big as this.
Okay.
So, I put my shirt back and I'm like, we're walking towards the water, so we're gonna go to the beach. And I reach out my hand to hold her hand. And she looks at me like that. She goes, what are you doing? And I was like, I wanted to hold your hand.
Like why?
Why?
I was like, what is this guy trying to do? Like he was trying his best, but very
Is his
desperately.
shirt still off at this time?
No, I think he put it back.
Okay.
And he was like trying to grab my hand like this, like my boyfriend. I was like, whoa.
Yes, okay.
Easy cowboy.
The worst thing is when
He went quick.
Is when a girl does this. When she does this, oh,
The patch.
that's like you're done.
How did you pull this thing around?
Okay, so
It's
here's
like-
the moment I knew I was in good shape. So I'm facing out of the water, she's facing me, and a big wave hits her, and she goes, ugh. And
Like, oh sorry.
she strokes my abs with her hand. Like, oh. And I was like, oh. And I was like, what was that?
It was the water. The water pushed me, and I had to stop against something, you know.
So in that moment, I was like, all right.
I got this.
I'm in good shape. Yeah, I'm not in the friend zone yet. Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, sorry, the wave pushed me." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Sure,
Yeah.
sure it did."
I'm just observing. I'm not judging. It's not the healthiest. A lot of fried.
Right. The
How do you guys
original.
stay? How do you guys stay in shape? Everyone seems to be in shape.
I think it's just genetics. I don't know.
So what do we have in here? Chicken?
So we have chicken, some
Avocado.
peas, avocado, cheese, and mayo.
Okay.
That's what I saw. It's good.
Delicioso. Gracias. What I'm gathering so far is the Venezuelans here obviously have their very strong identity in this just little establishments like this are little Venezuelan nation states where they can feel at home and comfortable, and well, it's like mom's home cooking or something. You can see Michelle and this man connecting over some Venezuelan TV show or movie. And even though we're in the United States and it's suburban looking here, mostly parking lots, roads, industrial buildings, it's got the, I guess, the essence of the home country in these environments.
Gracias. Chao, que estés bien.
Hasta luego.
it's like everybody's friendly and they just show you things. And I think for most of Venezuelan people, their goal is make you laugh. Like, we're happy people and we like to share that happiness.
Jim, do you agree?
Yeah, I think so.
If you make me laugh, you got me.
Well,
All right, good
that's all
job,
I had
Jim.
going for me.
Good job. Jim's a comedian. It worked. All right, guys, what are we getting into now?
Well, you were talking about warehouses before. We're going to a storage unit where they have an immigration support office.
Yes, it's like a foundation and it calls Raíces.
Immigration office in the U-Haul building?
I guess so.
What's all right. That's Miami style, huh?
Yes, apparently.
Well, there's some things behind the scenes. These are the owners of the business?
Yes. Well, the director.
Okay, the directors. All right, guys, sometimes in these videos don't really know what I'm getting into exactly, but I think it should be interesting. Hello. Your name?
Daniel,
Daniel. Peter.
nice meeting you.
You too, Daniel.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I'm curious what you guys are doing here.
Well, we're doing something that makes us
It's like a store, but everything is free.
Daniel and Mari, what's going on here? I see a lot of things. I see a Venezuelan flag. We have all sorts of products, clothes, shoes,
Everything.
jewelry, good coffee cup selection to go, strollers. What's going on?
Well, the idea is to help people
Okay.
in need that come from the States, mainly from Venezuela.
Okay.
So this is a non-profit organization that supports Venezuelan immigration.
And now are many coming here now? Many Venezuelans coming here now?
They're coming.
And you're not you're not here. You don't look at their citizenship or their status or anything. You're just helping.
Exactly.
Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay. I don't know the legality with all this
Well,
stuff. I'm not sure how it works.
If they are in a undetermined legal status, we can guide you to get the right track to
Okay.
get everything legal.
Okay, so what's happening now, from my understanding, guys, this is a new thing for me just as well as most of you. I'm talking to the audience here. Most are seeking asylum. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And how do they do it? They go through Central America up through Mexico?
Some of them come through the border from Central America to Mexico. Some others came by plane.
But how can you, but come by plane, you can't,
Well,
you need a passport to get through and the visa and everything,
Some
right?
of them got passports.
Okay.
Remember that Venezuelan migrant population is not only based in the state. Some of them went down to the south to Argentina and Chile,
Okay.
and then start coming from Argentina over America to the States
Okay.
by bus, by walking.
And how can they claim asylum? What's the
Once they get to the, to the border,
But what's the reasoning? Because the government's so...
you have to have a legal reason to support your argument. So
Okay.
I've been, accused from something I didn't do. I'm just
Okay.
an oppositor to the opposition from the government. To the
So
government.
let's go over here, better light. So from my understanding, if someone is maybe a threat to the government or speaking poorly against the government, then there's a problem in Venezuela and they can seek asylum here.
They can ask for asylum,
They can ask.
and then the government decide once evaluate your case if
Okay.
you qualify for the asylum or not.
So they can come in, they come into the country and then their court hearing or whatever is pending. Like then they deal with that when the time comes. Okay. And so you're here to help everyone who needs it, Venezuelans that live here, Venezuelans that just came in.
Yep.
Correct. Okay. Are things that bad in Venezuela at this very moment?
Well, if you
Or hard to say?
if you think that more than 4.5 million of people has emigrated from Venezuela, you can imagine how tough could be living down there.
Right.
Man, helping people
Yeah.
is the best.
Okay.
When you realize, when you get a smile,
Yeah.
when you got, we got tears. Look at my skin.
Goosebumps.
Oh yeah, because it's amazing, man. It's amazing, because the first that you receive is love.
Yeah.
blessings. But because when you receive, you're feeling like, okay, nothing is too hard to be here. Because if you can find someone that support you, you can feel like, okay, I'm feeling like at home.
A lot of games. You got a lot here.
Imagine this: when you're just a kid.
Yeah.
You left your country.
Yeah.
You left your toys.
Yeah.
Your toys are part of you.
Yeah.
So what do you need to replace
your
them?
comfort, your comfort,
Yes,
your happiness.
Of course. You need something to to feel like at home.
Yeah. How does it make you feel, Michelle, to see this?
Well, this is amazing, and it's another reality. Like for many Venezuelans, maybe there is like when you came here in a different situation and you're lucky, because that's how I'm feeling right now. Actually lucky that I came here and in the airport and like with everything I need, and I never really need like help from others. That makes me feel lucky, and sometimes we don't realize that, and seeing this is like the reality.
This is the other side of the reality.
It is.
Because most of the people think that Miami is, like you see it in the media. This is Miami, the greater beach. No, man. We have people in need here in Miami, Venezuelan in need in Miami.
I told him earlier, like the lately wave of Venezuelan moving here is the people in more need. Because, 30 years ago when Venezuelans start moving to USA, they have like money to invest here and they have a different style of life.
Exactly.
Like the people that is moving now from Venezuela here, it's a completely different situation, completely different circumstance. And that's the people that need this kind of stuff. And
what's Dios las bendiga?
that's like God bless you.
God bless you.
Okay. Thank you. God bless you.
And look at this.
Right. It's baby time.
Yeah, if you need. We also support people that is coming with, pregnant and having babies. And
It's what?
it's hard to understand how Venezuelan situation became like that. So if we as Venezuela are getting tough time to understand that, imagine how tough it is to explain you guys.
Right.
How do we get there?
So it's confusing for you.
Yeah.
Yes, and even for us.
Okay, so it's fully confusing for me.
I told them the country is changing every day. Every day Venezuela is a little bit more different in every way.
Okay.
If you imagine that something gonna be can go deep, and then you imagine there's a bottom of the deepness. No, you can go deeper than that, and that's the case in Venezuela.
So you feel like every time you hit the bottom, it's not the bottom. There's
It's
more
not
to
the
go.
bottom.
More and more.
There's another bottom deeper than that. So living like that is hard to imagine here in the States. No matter how worse you live here, how bad is your life here, you don't have the way to imagine that.
What do you want to tell U.S. citizens that say have never left the country, that don't have much of this worldly experience?
Well,
is there any advice you could give?
Maybe my one and only advice is don't be afraid to be free.
Don't be afraid to be free. What do you mean by that?
Well, freedom is not that simple as you can feel it. It's not so, it's a valuable thing, much more valuable than you take it for granted. Freedom is something that you have to take care, because freedom is not only your ability to speak of. Freedom is your possibility to realize your life, to get your dreams and make it true.
Yeah.
And right now, Venezuela is not longer that country. Used to be that country. That's why 30 years ago you received wealthy people here.
Right.
And now, then the second wave was something like the middle class people and professional people like us. And now you're getting the people really in need.
Yeah.
So it's tough to understand why that became like that. But the only explanation is we took the wrong political decision by electing the wrong guy and the wrong team. And that makes Venezuela in the way that it is right now. So when you are in democracy, voting is your one and only weapon to protect democracy, to protect your freedom. So you have to be wise making the decision on who is the people that you elect to rule the country.
Because it can change quickly.
Everything can change, just like that.
But the U.S. has a balance of powers.
Of course, that's the beauty.
Is that more of a protection?
That's the beauty.
Is that more protection, you think?
And I wish that people understand that that balance is what makes the government really work. If you don't have that balance, you're gonna be just in one side of the game. And you need to be playing in both sides of the game.
Well, it makes things inefficient. Democracy's messy, but it slows up that process of one person taking over and tanking the country overnight.
Well, I wouldn't say that democracy is messy. People is messy.
Yeah, okay. We're humans.
Exactly. That we have to work on that.
Yeah.
And recognize what did wrong.
Yeah.
And once you realize that, work on fixing.
So the Americans have never left. You're talking about freedom. Do you think here still has that freedom?
Oh man, yes.
Still has it 100%?
No, maybe not 100% because that is not true.
Yeah.
Freedom is try to find it. So keep it finding. Keep it fighting for that. Fight for your freedom.
Yeah.
And doesn't mean goes and fight physically.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The ideas.
Yeah.
Defend your ideas, protect your idea by doing the right thing.
Yeah. But I like freedom is a very hard word to define.
Yeah.
But I like your definition of realizing who you want to be in this life. Being able to bring out who you are. That to me is also my ultimate definition.
Once you are able to conquer your dreams, all your environment did the same. If you work hard to make you a better person, you for sure will be part of the change of the world. Because you're changing, once you change, everyone else is going to change.
So the people you interact with, you bring them up. Those people, you bring them up.
Yeah.
Everyone, instead of the negative.
Exactly.
Instead of I'm stealing something from you.
All the way around.
Yeah.
It's all the way around.
Good wisdom. I didn't know what I was getting into here, but now I got a great conversation.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Now,
thank you for passing by.
Yeah, no.
Please, let the world know that Venezuela Awareness Program is just one organization that supports Venezuelan people.
Okay.
But that we are.
And guys, I'll leave that link down below in the description of this video. You're a legend. Thank you.
No, you are a legend.
No. I got lucky. These wonderful people brought me into this environment.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Introduced me to you.
And
we're still in Doral, yeah? Here we are, downtown Doral. We found it. We didn't know this existed. Can we be honest? Can you guys both be honest? Did you know this existed?
This is the first time I've been here.
The inside story.
Okay, it's actually quite nice, quite clean. Coming in here, relaxed.
I can tell by finger like Venezuelan.
You can tell by their looks?
Yes.
Venezuelan, all of them.
This is this couple here is like two Venezuelan, he's gringo. You see them?
He's gringo, she's Venezuelan?
Yes.
Okay. He's gringo, this guy.
This guy's gringo.
But everyone else here?
Venezuelan. Yeah.
Family over here?
Venezuelan. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it's 100% Venezuelan. So you Venezuelans have created a nice community, or a nice environment, I'd say. It's clean. And your retail isn't shut down, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Like most cities I've been in America with this many spaces, something shut down or for lease these days, just because of the pandemic.
Right.
Don't see it here. All right, guys, that's the end of the road. Little sliver of Venezuela in the USA. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Jim. Oh, one more thing. You guys got a podcast.
Right.
Link down below, and it's about relationships, bilingual relationships, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And having
Bicultural.
Yeah, just having fun getting to know each other as a bicultural couple as well. So check it out for some fun stories.
Link below. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Until the
Bye.
next one.